Hello there. Never listen to that abroad family member or friends who ask you not to relocate. This is a very dangerous topic, but we must address it. There is a current trend online and in town. People in Africa want to relocate abroad, and people abroad always complain about hardship or heavy billing system in their new country. Today, I have come to settle the score, at least in my own capacity. Let's know those to go and those to stay. You cannot use a brush to paint the entire wall. Here and now, I have come to identify 11 classes of people who should relocate abroad as soon as possible. If you take your time to listen through, and if you belong to any of the classes, you may need to do everything humanly possible to jet out quickly in order to live well again. Invariably, these are reasons why Nigeria in particular and Africa in general have been experiencing brain drain. Survival. If your primary reason of relocating abroad is survival, then you are welcome. First, let me tell you a short true life story. Some years ago, after graduation, my biological brother in the UK would do everything humanly possible to keep me in Nigeria. What level of selfishness, you may want to say. Despite that he knew how hard things had gotten for a graduate without a job in Nigeria, he was not only unwilling to help me migrate, but would always sound discouraging. In the end, here I am today. Let no one discourage you from tasting a good life. It is always enjoyed abroad. Let them not keep you in Nigeria for their own use, for their own benefit. You live this life only but once. I will unveil the 11 classes of people to you now. So watch out where you belong and make the right decision in earnest. Stay focused. Number 1, the BSc graduates and the HND graduates, even MSc, with no jobs in Nigeria. No function, nothing to do. Get out of there as soon as you can. Having left school and you have tried for some time with nothing to show for it, or you are a fresh graduate from university or polytechnic with nothing forthcoming or promising, Omoya, tete koleti, zoom off as soon as you can. Once you have all the means, by all means, why not? With your degree qualification, you could do better abroad, I can tell you for a fact. Don't allow that selfish husband to keep you unfulfilled in Nigeria or in Africa. If it were that bad, let him relocate back to Nigeria. Number 2, children of nobody. You know yourself, you know your family, you know your father, you know your mom. You know the popular mantra in Nigeria, do you know me? Do you know whom you are talking to? Do you know the son of whom you are addressing? You are not from Atiku's house. You don't belong to Tinubu. You are not from Sanwo-Olu's family, Dangote's family, Buhari, Dantata, El-Rufai. Your father is not even a retired police commissioner. And lots more. Let me ask you a quick question. Do you know we all have certain lots of people around us? A whole lot of them. In families and amongst friends, all over. They are known as Boda Ilu Oyinbo, Uncle America, Daddy London, and so on. You know them, right? Good. Never listen to any of these uncles or brothers or sisters or even friends, online and offline, whose major mandate is to advocate you to endure on in Nigeria, despite the untold hardship you are facing from T-Pain. Never ever listen to them. Number 3, if you are not into Yahoo, you know what I mean? Yahoozy. Zoom off. You know those guys? They are in it. They have money. I'm not legitimizing it and I'm not saying it is the right way to go. But if you are not one of them, why not if you can? Number 4, you are not an Olosho of PLC. I'm not by this tarnishing the image of anyone, but we all know what I mean, right? You may be a small Olosho doing small Olosho here and there, but you can barely feed. You can barely survive. So girl, clear off. Zoom, move. A popular Nigerian actor, Boy Alinko, had something to say on Teju Babyface show this week, all the way from the United States. He said that if a ship is left on the Nigerian seashore with a conductor screaming US loading, UK loading, London bus, London loading, the majority of people discouraging you today, you will see them gladly jumping on the ship just to land abroad. This is 100% factual. This is evident in the soaring number of Nigerians besieging embassies and visa application centers across the nation, day in, day out, year in, year out. In fact, the socio-economic culture in Nigeria today is that oftentimes success of life is not seen complete by the society until you have traveled abroad. It's not from me. That is the culture over time in the country. And culture would eat strategy for breakfast. According to Rufai Oseni, he will always remind us. Number 5, all the journeys of life, you can barely make a meaning out of it. Go and leverage up abroad. There is a reason abroad is called the Great Leveler. I know everyone wants to relocate away from Nigeria and Africa. Or let me rephrase it. Let me say it this way. I know that the majority would love to relocate elsewhere and start off yet again. You know, Nigeria is burdensome. Life isn't so good anymore. Trust me, I get it. And I can conveniently tell you, it's a worthy ideal or venture to pursue in life. Why hold back? Why not give it all the push you can? Why should people abroad who have refused to relocate back home, despite the discouraging notes or tone they daily and unrepentantly yield out every time? Come to think of it, who is begging them for advice? I know that voice speaking to you loudly from within you, saying, even I myself would like to relocate someday soon and build a true life in a developed world, even though it's not going to be easy. I know that voice telling you so. My friend, you are so right. That voice is so right. So rightly you have sounded. And my guide here is, you can be sure to make a careful plan and relocate abroad once you belong to any of these classes. Then you will smile in the end. Trust me. The class 6 or the category 6 of people who should quickly jet out of the country, out of Nigeria. If you are working and earning poorly, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, 90,000, 100,000 naira, even 150,000 naira in Nigeria of today, it's worth it for you to zoom off. Yes, you will struggle a whole lot settling down on that poor pay. I used to be in that shoe, and I know what it means to earn poorly. That was even when Nigeria was not this bad economically. When things are not this horribly expensive. So this 70, 80, 40, 30,000 naira is no money. If you want to move on the basis of that, then you have the right decision. The category 7 of people who should relocate abroad if they so desire are those that beg their friends and families abroad to feed. They beg them to pay rent. They beg them to run their life. Your son is sick today. My daughter is sick tomorrow. My mother-in-law has swallowed needle. All this urgent 2K, urgent 5K, urgent 10K. Yes, and yes. Zoom, move if you can. Muzzle all your financial resources and all the possible effort. Zoom off. Yes, abroad is also meant for you, to be honest. The number 8 set of people who should zoom, who should move out of Nigeria if they so desire, all of the O-levels holders, WAEC people, you've got only GCE, SSC, NAPTEB, passed out or failed out, plus OND and NCE. The only challenge for you here is you may struggle a bit. You may struggle when it comes to writing a CV, attending interviews and all. But I tell you, abroad is outrightly meant for you. If you can maneuver your way, if you can brush up some bit, zoom off. Yes. The number 9 set of people, you don't even have any education per se. You probably never graduated or never attended any 4 corners of an institution. But you are bold, you are courageous, you are articulate. Go and fight it out once more. but you can barely feed. Mind you, you are not even surviving. Yes, you need to zoom off if you so desire. The category 10, the set of people who should also zoom. All you ever desire in your life is to see a system that works, to see a society where infrastructure is fully operational and available, making life better, seeing police and police seeing you as human beings, voting in an election without queuing or any form of violence, no thuggery is involved, a true society in every sense of it. Yes, you can zoom. The number 11 set of people. If you belong to the minority class, the minority ethnic group, those living with some form of disabilities or the other, one disability or the other, when you move, you will be shocked. You could still answer to the call of being called a human being yet again. Let's go to number 12. This last class may be somewhat controversial. Pay attention. It requires some bit of logic. Let me reel them out nonetheless. They are from the first point. You remember them? The graduate, the BSc, or the HND holders. We're going to spend a bit of time here because this is where the majority of people really belong. So we will deal with it extensively, but we will not waste time. I promise you that. You remember that category? The caveat here is once your BSc, you know what we had said earlier is once you don't have job, you're a BSc holder, you're an HND holder, you just don't have job, get out. Now we want to be more specific. Once your BSc is in all this Bobolowo, Parapo, general market, those in the faculties of social sciences, admin, education, agric, general sciences, arts, humanities, environmental, and lots more. Oh yeah, you need to move. You need to move. Why? Especially when you haven't found your route or your route or your bearing. I'll tell you that majority of these courses in here, they do not qualify you in any identifiable careerist profession. There are no professional courses in them per se. There is no professional calling in them. With the exception of accounting in admin faculty, who may go on to become accountants in full-fledged, as they are known from the day one of the admission in the university or polytechnics. Majority of all these other courses, they have no root or connection with what we call professional calling. Chill, relax. I know someone's ego appears being bruised right now because he's been able to figure out his own destiny from saying Bobolowo course. I can understand, and I will come to you soon enough. Don't allow your ego or emotions to run, to start boiling, or to overshadow this reality. You are not alone being addressed here, okay? If I am lying, stay there. With your BSc in religious studies or philosophy or sociology or political science, zoology or chemistry, and the list goes on, and tell me where you are headed, especially when you have not found your route, you have not found your connection, you have not found your route, you have not found your bearing. There's nothing for you to do. Precisely. No ego should be bruised here. I'm a product of the same Bobolowo market, you know. I must have mentioned my course of study in very many of my previous videos. We are in it together, which is why I'm able to see it through, because I am involved. There was a time when just BSc or HND, any BSc at all, in anything, could work in a bank. Today, things have changed. No more bank job for any goddamn fellow. This is the reality of Nigeria today. In short, once your lecturers were telling you during orientation or graduation ceremony that there is nowhere you cannot work, just know that indeed there is no work for you somewhere. This is what this is meant. So if you cannot, or you have not found your bearing in any of these general market backgrounds through an establishment of some worthy job, zoom off. Anyway, with these few points said, I'll see you on the next one. For those other classes, perhaps, who may not necessarily need to relocate abroad, watch out for the next episode to fully understand which class you belong. We need to balance the story. There are some that need to go, there are some that need to think it twice. Thank you in advance for subscribing and for liking the video. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.